Tomten from Fervent Workshops combines two things that we love in this household. Gnomes, or gonks as the youth calls them, I don't know, and Christmas. Makes it into a family weight game, or you can add in the advanced rules to make it even more strategic. What do I mean by all that? Well, stick around after the break to learn how to play it, and then stick around after that to hear what I think of it. Here we are set up for a two-player game of Tomten. I will start off by saying there are two modes you can play. You can play basic or advanced, and then within those you can play competitively, cooperatively, or in teams. The cooperative and the competitive I will explain when we get to scoring, because that is when that actually pertains to it. I'll start off explaining basic to you, and then I will tell you the differences in advanced. There will be timestamps down below to take you to those various things. So setup is the same for cooperative or competitive. You are going to randomly stack these tiles on the calendar. You are going to put a die on each Sunday. You are going to shuffle up the task cards, deal out 4 of them, make a supply of the dice. Then each person gets 4 dice that they will roll into their personal supply. Then whoever is going to go first is the person who is on top of the markers. Typically it is whoever is furthest back if you are both on the same spot as whoever is on top. So then at that point you have two options. You can work or you can rest. If you work, you are going to choose one or more die in your supply, placing them on a card. When you place dice on a card, they must add up to the number exactly. So a 5, 6, or 11. So in this instance, I in theory could do this. That's a 4, 8, and 11. I could put myself there. I can also put these in to be a 5. I could put this at the 3. I could go here for the 9. I could go solo for the 4. I could do the 5, or I could do the 8. You get the picture. So let's go ahead and say I'm going to start easy, and we are going to go with this 4 right here. Once you place your die, this is going to be how many days you move. This is going to be how many points you get. Bliss is what they call it in this game. Now, because my opponent is further back, they are going to place dice. Maybe they want to go big early, and they are going to be placing it on the 8, which would move them 1, 2, and 3. And then they'd be getting 5 points. Then on my turn, I will say I will place these 5, this right here. That moves me 2. Gives me 3 points. And then because this card is completed, we will remove the dice. I will take this card and we will flip over the next card. I am on top, so it's my turn again. I have 1 die. So I've gone over work. Now for resting. If you are going to rest, what you do is you take 4 dice or take dice until you have 7, whichever comes first. Because you can have a max of 7 dice in front of you at any time. Once you take those 4, you are going to roll all the dice, and then I'm going to move 1 forward on the day track. Then my opponent would go, etc. As you are moving on the calendar, if you move on or through a die and you do not have 7 in front of you, you're going to take that die and roll it into your supply. When you come across these holidays with the bows on it, you are going to be scoring 1 point per card you have collected. And then St. Canute's Day, you are going to be scoring those cards twice, once for the holiday and once for being St. Canute's Day. So when we get down to scoring, this is when the change matters. If you are playing competitively, it's whoever has the most bliss wins. If you are playing cooperatively, at the end of the game, both of you will have need to collected 77 bliss, which is 1 time a round, which would be 40, and then a round again to 37. You'll see that it is underlined. So you both need to accomplish 77 bliss or more in order to win. If you're playing teams, you and your partner would add up your score compared to the other team's highest score wins there. Let me get set up for advanced really quick, and then I'll explain the key differences in there. Alright, so I'm now set up for advanced. Almost everything is still the same. You're still going to shuffle this. You're going to display 4 cards. You're going to have a die display. Each person is going to be getting 4 dice that they roll into their supply. There's 1 on each Sunday. These are randomly stacked. Everyone's on 0. The main difference is you are going to be getting dealt 3 of these task cards and 1 clan card. You are then going to look at these cards and you're going to choose to either keep the 3 work cards or the clan card and the task card. The other big difference in the advanced mode is you are going to be concerned more with this bottom corner. You have tags, little emblems here, and then also special abilities. So let's go over these cards. The clan is going to give you a thing that will happen when you rest. So for instance, this clan is when you rest, you may reroll 1 die, and you may set one of your dice to match any one of the dice currently sitting on the displayed task cards. So each clan has one of those abilities. They also down here will have a scoring option for St. Canute's Day, and they have these little icons in the bottom corner. So again, a lot of these is going to be when you choose your ones to keep, they are now going to be in your display, and you are going to be able to use them by tilting them 90 degrees to show that you have activated them. They vary in powers. The red ones, what will happen with these is when you choose to work, you can turn that card to flip a die. So in this instance, I can flip my 1 to a 6 to place on there if I wanted. This one that's got the 2 little people with the star is if I am here and my opponent lands on me, I can turn this to gain 1 bliss. You are going to have these cards here with the bows. You are going to turn these whenever you land or pass on a holiday to gain 2 points. That is one of the main differences with advanced. Also is when you pass these holidays, you are not going to get points for every card in front of you, only by being able to activate the cards that have the bow on them. For St. Canute's Day, same thing. They are not going to automatically count those. You're only going to be scoring the cards that show an icon for St. Canute's Day by activating them. Most of them are going to give you points based on the number of symbols you have in your personal display, which some of them are on your clan. Your clan will also give you points for that as well. This card up here is different. This one is when you rest, you will take 1 additional die. So if this was in my display, I had these 3 and I choose the rest, or I should say I have 2. I will take my normal 4. I can turn this to activate it to get 1 extra die, bringing me to 7. If I had those 3 and grabbed these 7, I would not be able to use that to grab an extra one because, again, you can never have more than 7. So as I said, when you use them, you are going to rotate them like this, which means they are currently disabled and I cannot use them again until I rest. So if I had the 2 and I choose to do the rest action, I will then again grab my 4 dice. I may use that ability if I am able to. I will roll all of them. I will move mine 1 spot. And then I can use my clan ability, and then after that, you will ready/enable all of the cards you have in your display to be able to use again. So given that, that means that once you cross a holiday, and if you use your holiday card, if you have not rested by the time you get to the next holiday, you are unable to use that. When it comes to endgame scoring, again, it's going to be the same thing that if you're playing competitively, whoever has the highest score. Cooperatively, you both need to be, or everyone needs to be at or past 77, and in teams, you will add up the scores. That is the main differences in the advanced mode. There might be a couple small other rules based on which clan you choose, but that is the general idea of it. So let me go ahead and give you my thoughts on this. So there you go. That is the various ways of playing Tomten. One of the coolest things I like about this game is that variety of different modes and different ways of playing. You can play it as just a fun sitting around family bonding experience of everyone playing competitively and working together. And here, I'll set this card up so you can take it so you can get the points for here. And then when we get to that holiday, we can get the points and so forth and so on. You can play it competitively, where you're just all trying to get the same score and really just battling over those cards. Or you can even do it as teams, to where you basically are combining your scores. So being able to have that variety of methods to suit however you're feeling like playing that day, or who you have over, or what your gaming group is like, or what your family gatherings are like, who knows? And then not only do you have those different varieties there, but then adding in the advanced mode to where it's not just about getting the cards, because the cards aren't always going to score for you. It's also which cards are you going to grab? Which method are you going to go? Are you really going to want to have those red cards to be able to flip those dice to allow you to start trying to get more and more of the cards you need to give you that die variety of either side of the die? Or do you want to make sure you can get those points? And that whole starting off with either 3 cards or 1 clan and a card, that can really set the tone for the game. One of the games we played in that advanced mode, Bryce started off with 3 cards that scored her on the holidays. So I already knew I'm in like an 18-point hole because she's going to be scoring 6 points, 3 holidays. So my goal at that point was, how do I offset this? And as long as I can stay close to her after each holiday, then I'm going to have a chance at the end. And I didn't think I had done it. I did end up coming around and beating her by a few points because I was able to get those right cards that scored on St. Canute's Day. And then that's the other thing, is once you start getting those ones that are going to score for those specific tags, that also starts informing your decision as opposed to grabbing any old card. That hopefully those tags are going to be on the cards that you need. Speaking of those tags, one of the things I didn't really touch on that I find is cool about it is the tags actually have meaning. Like, one of them means that there's snow. One of them means there's 1 gnome. One of them means there's 2 gnomes. So the tags aren't just like fun little images they decide to come up with. They actually tie them into the picture, which shows like a level of thought and care that gets put into the game design and like the user experience of, oh look, there's food in there, so it's going to have this symbol. So maybe as long as you remember the symbols, if you can't really see them down below, you can look at the picture and you can decipher it that way. And speaking of the art, it is that type of art we have. It's very reminiscent of olden days. It's got the very nostalgic feel, and this game itself has that nostalgic feel about it, or a game that kind of feels like a game you have played your whole life. A game that you could have seen playing with your family in olden days, of rolling dice and just kind of putting them out right there. Especially if you're playing the basic mode. It's one of those fun ones that you can just play as you're sitting around, maybe waiting for Christmas dinner, waiting for your holiday dinner to get done. Everyone's kind of just playing the game and having a good time as they're waiting for the food. With the advanced mode, maybe this is when you break out after dinner to get your group ready and going for the holiday game night, getting your brains really loose and active with that strategic element to lead into something much bigger. So if you are someone who likes Christmas-themed games, if you're someone who likes holiday-themed games, if you like gnomes, if you like a game that has a broad range of appeal by play styles and game modes of basic and strategic, if you're a person who likes dice rolling, and if you're a person who kind of likes that player orders put by a time track, then I would suggest looking into Tomten. There will be a link down below. Down below is also where you will find the buttons to like this channel, subscribe to it, and ring the bell to be alerted as we do more videos. You can also share this video and comment on it, and let me know if there are Christmas games that you yourself have made as a tradition, and if you're thinking even of making Tomten 1 in the future. Alrighty, so until next time, get out and celebrate.